Yeah, people, welcome back, welcome back. You don't know Nikada Media is out here again, second time for the night. You don't know the JFF, football, Jamaica Football Federation, have dropped the 24-man squad that, supposed to take part in the Nations League quarterfinal games, against the two-legged tie between coming up, on Thursday and next week, Tuesday, against Canada. And I said, I'm home. I'm not really doing anything, I'm here, just watching this USL final, and I just decided, just come back live, chat about, you know, the Canada game, what took place, even last night, give a little experience of what happened in that Guatemala game, up there in Harrison, New Jersey, in Red Bull Stadium. But yeah, people, be honest, I love the squad. I love the squad, to be honest. I love it. The graphics is really good. I don't know if it's because it's one of probably it's the strongest squad we can name. A few people, have been drafted out of the squad, and a few key pieces come back in. Like I think Mikel Antonio, he came back in the fold. I think Adrian Mariappa was in the last squad when we played the last CONCACAF Nation League. But he's not in this current squad at this moment. Let's see, I can pull it up. But yeah, really good squad, to be honest. Really good squad. It's really strong. Can't lie. The graphics is really good. I don't know. I'm just like, the graphics really look. You guys could see it on the screen. I really love it. I really love the graphic. And I really love the graphic of this. It's really looking good, to be honest. Really strong squad. Can't lie. But yeah, Ekta is out of the squad also. I haven't seen Kevin Lambert, in the squad. I don't know what's up with him at Real Salt Lake. Jonathan Russell is back in the fold. But I think there's a thing, in the squad. I think one of our players, Amar Bell. Amar Bell, he got injured. I think around, I think when Luton Town played Burnley, I think he got injured in that first half of the game. I haven't seen him since for Luton Town. You know, I don't know what's going to happen. It says, he's supposed to be back in that month. So I don't know if it's a case that, he's fully recovered yet. So I don't know what's going on there at Amar Bell. But, before I go in details about, the 24-man squad at name, tonight. Um, Experience, last night, up there in New York, it was a phenomenal experience again. Yet again, I went, into Harrison, New Jersey to watch the Reggae Boys play. I think this is third time now. The Ecuador game, the Guatemala game, and the Argentina game. So yeah, probably the third time now. But it's three Hispanic, three Latinos team. I don't know if anyone can, I would say, like, if I could share an experience with someone to just go up there, especially in that cold night in New Jersey, just go up there and experience that. Whenever, the Reggae Boy played up there. But the atmosphere that, the Guatemalan fans, put on up there, just before you enter the stadium, it's like it's a car park, and everyone was like, tailgating, like people were barbecue, just pull out the, those little 4-4 Takuma, drop the back, and, get the barbecue grill out. They out there in the cold, I would say it was like in the low 40s last night. And, just to see even the vendors, stood out there all night when the game finished. I think I arrived about 45 minutes before kickoff, and it was jam packed in the car park, and everyone who was still getting at their car, drinking and doing stuff like that. It was a whole vibes, and I was like, damn, why can't we Jamaican, huddle up like that and enjoy ourselves in the cold, and and just play some music, jerk some chicken, and stuff like that. But you can see that these Latinos, these follow these Central American in South American team, they're passionate about their country. I would say probably 80 to 90% of all the vendors, at the game, they were selling a Guatemala jersey. You have other vendors selling like Inter Miami, other I think I saw Real Salt Lakers. I think one of their key player, he didn't play yesterday, but he played for Real Salt Lake. But they were selling, Messi, Ronaldo, Di Maria jersey, even Argentinian jersey were on sale last night. I saw one star, that Guatemalan guy, he was selling a Reggae Boy jersey, but it wasn't the official, jersey like what I'm wearing right now. But he was selling a Jamaican jersey, and I was like, yeah, thumbs up to that. But when I entered the stadium, you could see that these people were sitting here for like the last 60 minutes, probably just when I arrived, like 45 minutes before I arrived, because I did a live outside the stadium. And when I was outside, I hear the roar, and I was like, hey, that's the Guatemalan players coming out to warm up, and you could hear the excitement, but these fans, they jump, they sing, they said a lot of bad stuff, in Spanish, especially against our players. They use a lot of I was listening out for like from some homophobic stuff like that, but they didn't say anything like that. The Mexican like to use those type of jeers and stuff, but I know a few stuff, in Spanish, how the Mexican will react to opponent and stuff like that. But the Guatemalan fans, they were peaceful yesterday. The only thing they did, they boo us, They didn't boo the anthem, but initially when we walk out and our starting lineup was going off around the stadium, we were getting boos, we were getting whistle, we were getting like stuff like this, the phone light was going off and all of that, just to throw the team off, but it didn't stop anything. The Reggae Boys play really well, just to know that this coach have these players probably Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, probably about Tuesday, Wednesday. He had this bunch of crap of players, in New York, trying to get them prepared for the game. And everyone played well, even the guys that, came on the pitch, they played really well. I think two players got only 45 seconds on the pitch, but I think it was Shaquille Bedford, and I'm not sure if it was Shaquille, but I know one was Trayvon. Trayvon Reed, the ex-Tivoli Harborview man, but everyone did their part yesterday in the game, I can't lie, just to see, the midfield between Ramon Oil and Speedy Williams, both of them were playing at double pivot in the midfield, and they did an excellent job with their back to goal in their own defensive third at the time, because some of the times, when we came under attack, the Guatemalans, when Jamai Topi or Richard King, collect the ball, sometimes they don't rush, and that was wonderful to see. Two youngsters playing with such confidence, at the back in a high tense game at that point. They always looking forward. The first pass was always for them is to play the ball wide. It's either because Toby was playing the left center half, and Richard King was playing on that right center half. So every time when both of them get the ball, they look to the closest man to them, and it's always that wing back, and that is a pattern of play. That is a sense of where your player is going to be. That's awareness on the pitch, and when you can do things like that on a football pitch, it's hard for the team to get the ball because you already knew where your player is going to run. And yeah, that was really good, from Jamai Tope and Richard King. And one of the most craziest thing, happened yesterday. Jamal Wade, the goalkeeper, every time when there was a goal kick, he stopped the ball. Like he literally stopped the ball and was wasting around probably 30 seconds of each goal kick. You know, he picked up the ball yesterday, and every time when he did it, yeah, the Guatemalan fans, you know, even some fans, you know, in front of me, they were going really crazy. Like he was getting off his seat, you know, throwing his beer down and other on the lower level, you know, and it was with the other supporters, but you know, it wasn't any big of a deal. But yeah, they were really going crazy, you know, for Jamal. We had been wasting time, but I think that was at the time, I think that was, you know, a strategy from him from day one, because the moment he got his first goal kick, he done that. But I think they start to whistle him and start to boo him. I think the third time they realized what was going on, you know, and you know that was crazy. But yeah, the midfielders, you know, the two wingers, you know, I talk about Ramon and Speedy Williams, but they didn't done much in that final third. You know, they tried, but you know the ball didn't go to them as much as when we go in there in the opponent final third. But who done the most damage? You know, yesterday in the final third, it was Beckford, it was the Mario Phillips. You know, Maggie was really quiet. He was really quiet in that first half. You know, Romaro Williams, I think he done more in the first half than he done in the second half. Cause the thing I don't know, but the Guatemalans, they probably did some homework on Tariq Magee, because last night as soon as he picked up the ball, it's like 3 and 4 Guatemalan fans surround him, and every time when I look around, you know, look at the Guatemalan fans, you know, I don't know if they knew who is Tariq Magee, you know, probably they do, you know, but they were like vamos, dale, dale, vamos, dale, dale, to, you know, to the Guatemalan fans. You know, that's like, you know, get him, you know, and every time when you get the ball, it's always 3 and 4 players, you know, try to get Tariq Magee, and it's the same thing done for Romaro Williams, you know. But I think in the first half, he kind of link up play a little bit with Deshaun Beckford and Tariq Magee. You know, they played all 3 of them, you know, played in the same in the USL team. You know, it's same thing for Speedy Williams. You know, it's 5 of them. So yeah, and one came on yesterday. But you know, yeah, you could see that a little team chemistry between the 3 of them. You know, so but in the second half, I feel like, you know, the team picked up another pace. You know, the Jamaicans, you know, we started the second half really well, really well. We go at them, we almost got that goal, you know, but I'm going to say this now because I don't want to forget. The referee gave us some hard call. They gave us some hard call yesterday. Like, I think we got even a penalty show. You know, you guys can go on my match flag, you know, that I put out earlier. You know, you could see that penalty, you know, that I swear, you know, that ball hit his hand. Even the Jamaicans, you know, who were right behind the goal at that time, they were the first one I saw get up and like, you know, and the referee like he waved it off. But you know, we got some hard calls even in the last, you know, we got a last ditch counter attack, and he and the referee called for offside. You know, the linesman put up his flag, you know, for Malik faster, you know. But when you saw about the replay, it was initially like he was coming from in front of the defenders. So I can't see, you know, but we got some hard cards, you know, and the Guatemalans, they kept pushing down Deshaun Beckford every time. Deshaun Beckford was the winger. He was one of the winger with Demari Phillips from Mount Pleasant, and Demar Phillips is the one that's always coming inside inverted. Sometimes interchange. You see them on the left, you see them on the right. But if Deshaun Beckford, you know, stay on that right side, he's not going to come in. His job was to stay wide, because the Guatemalan, they were playing so narrow, that 4-4-2, and they were playing that little inverted wingers. You know, the same thing what they did, you know, in the Gold Cup against us in the quarterfinals. They played really aggressive inside, you know, the midfield. Yeah, you just can't beat them inside the midfield, and they were much of a quality team in the midfield, more technical. But yesterday, the calmness of, you know, Ramon Owell and Speedy Williams, these when you have a double pivot midfielder, trying to take less than 2 touch off every touches he get on the ball, as an opponent, it's going to hard for you to win the ball. And this is why, players like, Paul Scholes, Carrick, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, these players, always, be dominant, over the opponent because they try to take less touches off the ball. So the opponent, every time when they try to get close to the two double pivot for the Reggae boy, the ball gone and they have to be chasing again, and kudos to Amar Bell. His off the ball movements was excellent. I think we have a couple quality players, to be honest. We have a couple quality players in the Jamaican Premier League that can fit in the slot, for this Reggae boy team. And, I think if Jamai Tope, he's been that young player for years now, Jamaican people is looking out for him. Is he going to be the next Damian Lowe whenever he step aside? Is he going to be that next leader in the back and Richard King? But watching him yesterday, it's a really good job. The next player, Demar Phillips, he's really good. He's really good on the ball, and this player seems like he's doing work off the field because he's so fit. He never stop runs. Even when you watch him in the JPL, he just never stop run. And if his off the ball movement is really good, his touches on the ball, he know when to take 2, 3, and when to dribble, pass, and move. And that was a big difference, last night between the Reggae boy second string team and the Reggae boy first string team. Because time when Amar Gray get the ball, Leon Bailey get the ball, they want to take 5, 6, 7, 8 touches on the ball. And by the time you take so many touches on the ball, you see that the opponent close up the space where the ball could have gone, or they close down other opponents, So when you take less touches off the ball and keep the ball move, it's hard for the opponent to cope with their opposition team. So yeah, and another player I really love, Ajuma Johnson. I wish Coach Almia Grimsey can take a good look more into Ajuma Johnson, because Ajuma Johnson is a really quality player, and the thing with him, he's a left-footed player, and he's that modern day type of number 10 where he can play multiple positions. He can play the 8, he can play the 10. Time and time we've seen him play for left back, which I don't like, as he used to play at left inverted left back for Arnett Garden in his first couple, I think his first season, 2 seasons, and then his last season where he really excelled last year in the Jamaican Premier League, where he played right behind the striker most of the time in the season, and he scored, he scored 7 goals and assists 5. I think something like that in the Jamaican Premier League. So yeah, Ajuma Johnson is another one that I was expecting to see someone like him in the squad. And I was probably expecting to see a few more local based players, to be honest, and probably we could have easily throw one of the schoolboy in the team, one of those standout, and give them that experience, because look, Guatemala have a player that brought on yesterday. I think his name is Olgar. He played for New England. I think he played for New England Revolution. I spoke about him yesterday in my preview live at the stadium yesterday. Let's see if I can. I know I wrote his name down, but he played in the MLS, but he played for the second string team, but he's just, his name is, and he was the only overseas player in the Guatemalan team. He was the only player that didn't play locally in Guatemala. His name is Olga Escobar. He's just 17 years old. He is 17, so we should look into games like this and picking at least 1 or 2 schoolboy football player in the squad, because this is an unofficial game. This is like a pickup game. This can't do anything to your FIFA ranking, as it's not in a FIFA window. It's just a pickup game where Jamaica and Guatemala played last night, and 17-year-old made his debut, and it was a big thing. It was a big thing because when he was coming on, the whole stadium get up and applaud him, because they knew him. He is that next player Guatemala see that, he's going to be that elite player for them. You understand? And, yeah. So why not we just throw at least two, and I'm not saying throw 3, 4, 5, schoolboy footballer, but at least throw someone in the squad, from the schoolboy, someone that stand out evil, I really love this keeper, in the schoolboy football for Mona. He's really good. I think his name is Akeem. He keep for Mona. I think he's a captain. He's really good. And I seen a couple players. But I don't know them name off the top of my head because I don't really watch the schoolboy football, like that. Like I only can see the games that they bring on. And I heard a little noise about, this player. He is playing for BB Coke, a midfielder, but can't wait for the Champions Cup to come on so I can see this player. But yeah, we can show some of these players. This is how Ricardo Gardner was when he got into the Reggae Boy team, a school youth from Woolmans, get into the team. We saw Dujan Uspa as a 17-year-old going into the Reggae Boys team. This is things that we need to do. Give these youngsters, the experience. And I think we don't do enough of these, around in Jamaica. But other countries, they do stuff like this, but I think, overall, though, with the second string team, this is something really good, to be honest, because when you look at Mexico, I think a few Gold Cups are back, Mexico played a second string team to the Gold Cup. America did it the last time and won it. We played them in the first match of the CONCACAF World Cup, and we drew 1-1 with America's second string team. So if we can keep this core, if we can keep the score of players that we picked last night and probably add a few in it, younger players in it, we can develop these players more and more and give them that experience, what they need. So you see, like the likes of, America picked their second string team. The players that played in the MLS. The same thing for Mexico. They picked players. I remember this Gold Cup. I think it was 2019. Probably 2019. They pick a second string squad to play in the Gold Cup. Just players in the Liga MX and player in the MLS who is representing the Mexico national team. And I'm watching, this USL game right now. Charleston Battery against Phoenix Rising Star. And Charleston Battery, they're playing a 17-year-old Mexican. They're playing a 17-year-old. He is that player for them, in the game right now. And he's going to, right after this game, he's going to India to play in the Under-17 World Cup, which the tournament Under-17 World Cup already starts. So I don't know what's wrong with people over here in Jamaica. I think that, playing youngsters, it's a crime. It's not a crime. And I remember when Whisper made his debut, I think it came around that unofficial game. I think when we played that not two-legged, but those two series games against Trinidad, and one in Moby and one in Kingston, people were out crying, about, said he's too young, he's not playing any club football and, all of that. But play youngsters, man. Youngsters are the future, It happened to me. And when you have talented youngsters and you keep them out of your squad, it can break the players, but luckily that never happened to me because I have a strong backbone, my father, which always guide me. So not every youth like Whisper, I have Craig, who can stand up behind him. My father stand up beside me and my coach, Coach Chin, them man, they stand up beside me and push me out there. And whenever the call don't come, he's like, yo, keep working. Don't listen to the noise. Don't look at the negative stuff. Because many times, I've been overlooked in the art when you used to play the parish league for Kingston. Many times I've been overlooked. Even the U15 national setup, the U17 national setup. I had my best season of my life, during that time when we qualified for that U17 World Cup. And you know, it kind of break me, but I have strong people around me. So yeah, you know, when you make bad decisions on youngsters, it will break them. It can break them if they don't have that strong backbone. But you know, the, as I was saying, you know, just we need to have at least a core of players, probably 45 players. You know, so Argentina pick for the last year and a half, 2 years, Argentina have been picking a solid 30-man squad before they won the World Cup, you know, last year in Qatar, you know, and even now they're still picking that same core. It's only time when players get dropped out of that squad is when, you know, player injured, you know, some suspension. But Argentina have been picking a solid core for the last 2 years now. So they have been doing this preparation to try to get this World Cup for Lionel Messi, and you know they did it, and everything is just preparation. Everything is just preparation. So I'm saying, you know, if we can, not saying, you know, the Jamaican Football Federation should pick a 40-man squad every FIFA winner. No, that's ridiculous. You know, but at least have a core of players, a pool that you know that you can say, all right, this is the pool of players that I'm going to pick from. You're going to have that odd one that you know he's just lighting up the place right now. It's just undeniable that you can't leave him out of the team. You know, you're going to have those odd player, but have at least a 45, 50-man squad where you know, all right, say, you know, for the build up to this World Cup, you know, Jamaica play Gold Cup last Jamaica played Gold Cup last summer. You know, they played Gold Cup previous before that. So you don't really want to create too much overloads on players. And that's what America did, because before the Gold Cup, America played, you know, the Nations League. You know, they be playing the Nations League and they won it. They played their full strength team in the Nations League, and they got and a couple of their players got injured. And what they did initially, they picked their second string team and they won it. Canada did the same thing. Canada picked their first team, you know, in the Nations League, and then when it comes to Gold Cup, they picked their second string. But the Mexican, they played right out. You know, they decided that they're going to play right out. But America and Canada decided they're not going to put too much overloads on their players, because some of their players are playing in Europe. You know, but when you look at a Mexico team, not many players in from the Mexican national team playing in Europe. You know, the only one that can come off on top of my head that's really playing really good right now in European football and club football, you know, is Santiago Jimenez. You know, played in the Dutch league. I think is it PSV or Feyenoord? I think it's Feyenoord. You know, I think it's Feyenoord. They're in the same zone, the same group as Atletico Madrid. You know, you have El Chucky. You know, Lozano. You know, he's playing in the Dutch league. You know, he used to play for Napoli. I think he's on loan. You have Alvarez. You know, playing for West Ham. So I was saying that to someone, I think a couple of months ago, like, do you guys really understand that, you know, the Mexican team is going through a breakdown in terms of quality players? Because when you used to look at Mexican, they used to be all over the pitch, all over the world, you know, playing at big European teams in European competition, you know, but probably they just said, hey, you know, I'm just going to play locally. Are they not? They are not good enough at this moment. But the one that's really lighting up Europe is Santiago Jimenez, you know, from Feyenoord, and you know, news around showing that, you know, Real Madrid is looking at him to be that next striker for them. But yeah, it's good to have, you know, second string players, you know. But what happened, you know, yesterday, another thing, we didn't take enough shots, you know, on goal yesterday. That was the only that I would say that was one of the only downfall that, you know, we had yesterday in the Guatemala game. You know, if you don't take shot, you don't score. Facts. That's rule number one in football. You know, if you defend poor, you can't see goals. You know, if you make mistake, you get punishment. So if you don't take shot, it's hard to score. It's not going to be a game like what played today, Sheffield and Brighton, where Sheffield don't take many shots, but yet Brighton scored for them. Brighton scored 2 goals. And then Gara scored and his scored for Brighton, and then Webster scored a 1 goal, and Sheffield got a point without even score a goal for them with their own players. But it's hard. It's not going to happen all the time. So yeah, we just need to take more shot. We need to be a little bit more direct towards goal. But big up to all of the man them, turn out last night for the Reggae boys, in the Red Bull Arena. Shout out to them. The man them done the country proud. To be honest, you could see that, the man them done the coach proud, because as soon as the final whistle blow, he just walked on the pitch and just started to hug his players, start to congratulate. Like, even me, I was probably looking at my father, and we were talking about, like, it's kind of thinking about it, like, is he going to get the win today? Is he going to get smashed? Or it's going to be a miracle. But to see all the man come out and play that heart, that hunger, that tenacity, where everyone is fighting for each other, big up to the man them. But so yeah, this squad, I see if I touch. Yeah, I think I touch on everything, what happened last night. But I'm going to run through the squad of players that not, I mean, most of you probably see the squad already, but I'm just going to go through it players by players, players probably who is not on farm, players who is on farm, players who haven't played over the last couple of games yet for their club team. But yeah, Blake, Blake is in that Eastern Conference final with Cincinnati, with Alva's Powell team. So yeah, Blake and Lowe, they have been playing really good. Philadelphia is playing good, not conceding too much goals. Ishma King, yes, G, yeah, big up for that. Big up to Daniel Football Show. Man, what a time to be unavailable for the Prem podcast. When the team Chelsea play one of the best football of them life so far in the season. I say that game against Chelsea is what the best game of the season so far. But yeah, Amar Knight, I think Amar Knight, he played in a USL League One. I think he played at USL League One. Their league finish already. But yeah, Amar Knight, he's a regular player, for Lexington. I think Lexington, he played 24 goals. He played 24 games, this season. So yeah, he's a regular. They played in that USL League One. I think Jamal Wade, I think played for Pittsburgh. He played for Pittsburgh in the USL. And I think his team go to the playoffs, but he didn't manage. They didn't manage. He played for Pittsburgh, Riverhounds. They got knocked out of the USL, I think, quarterfinals against Detroit. Detroit City FC, that's where O'Neal Fisher played. They lost that game. I know. And O'Neal Fisher is another one. He went from Minnesota to LA. And then USL Detroit, and then just start. He's not getting enough games, and he's not good enough for their team. He's not good enough for their team. But yeah, Jamal Wade, he's playing consistently for Pittsburgh. He played 26 games. He kept 10 clean sheets. That's a lot. In the USL, he kept 10 clean sheets. He is a regular player, in the squad whenever the Reggae boy pick a squad for any games, unofficial games or official FIFA dates, but I think Kemar Foster, that goalkeeper, keep for Umblian, I think he got dropped out of the squad. I think he was in that squad. So I think that's it for the 3 goalkeepers. Kanye boy, that keeper keep for Reading. What's his name? Boyz Clark, keep for Reading. He always keeping that Papa John trophy. That whenever I think I think this is why he's not getting enough calls, for the Reggae boys. Reading decided that he's going to be that goalkeeper, in the Papa John's EFL Cup. That the Papa John is like a knockout tournament for the teams that's in, I think, League One and League Two. So yeah, they played those games played when it's going to be an international break. So I think that's why he's not getting enough calls, and I think that was one of the reasons, Coach Amir Brinson talk about, in the last squad that they picked, and they played a game and he kept a clean sheet. His team won 5-0. Let's see, I'm typing. Let's see who Reading going to play, because I know they're in that Papa John Trophy tournament. So the EFL Trophy, that's what they call it too. They're playing Arsenal Academy on Tuesday, November the 14th. So I think that's why he's not getting enough call-ups since recently. Reading they have a first team goalkeeper. I think he's an Irish. I think he's an Irish goalkeeper. But yeah. So next up is the defenders. So Ethan Pino. Ethan Pino, class defender. He's been playing consistently for Brentford. Pinnock have to pick up an injury or some suspension for him to not be in the squad, to be honest. So yeah, Pinnock, good one. I think having Pinnock around the team, with his experience around younger players, he's going to always, protect them. He's going to lead them in that right part, where they can excel in their game. And I feel like, when Damien Lowe play with Pino, I think 6 or 7 times out of 10, he's kind of play a little bit calm. But whenever he played without Pino, it's like, hell broke loose. Man of, them call him head of state. Get wild in the Gideon. Who remember that game that we drew in the Azteca? I think that was last year. Coach Albrin's first official game, we drew 2-2. I think Bobby Reed scored in that game, and I think Boyz scored the other one, or it was a own goal on Alvarez. Yeah, but Pino and Damien played their best game at that time, and that's why I said that. And even when you look at in the Gold Cup, he made a lot of rational challenge. Even the game that we played against Haiti and Grenada, you can see sometimes that when Pinnock is not there, the defenders they played, it's like they're not confident on the ball. But yeah, playing Pinnock around there, it's always players going to feed off his energy. And like me, when I'm in my time, when I'm playing that experienced midfielder, is like you have that confidence. He give you that confidence to go forward. He give you that. Whenever you make a mistake, he encourage you, like, listen, don't stop, don't get nervous, show up for the ball. So yeah, experienced players can do things like that. So it's a good one. And Deshaun Bernard, oh my God, Sheffield Wednesday is having a poor run of form in the championship. They're having a poor run. They're having a abysmal, game of running. They played their last five games and they only won 1, and that was the last time they won a game was October 29 against Rotterdam. I think that's Lembesika team. I think that's the team that Lembesika played in. Yeah, both of them played in that game. That's Sheffield Wednesday. The former Reggae Boy International. I think Darren Moore. He brought them up from the League One to Championship. So yeah, but Deshaun Bernard he's playing week in, week out, but the team is just struggling. He played 10 games already. He had an assist to his game. He played 11 games and started 10 of them. So yeah, he's an excellent, standout in the team that's always there for the team. But yeah, Sheffield Wednesday is having a poor run at season. They only won one game and drew 3. That's 6 points. And I think they're going right back down to League One. So yeah, then 24th position. But move on to another player. Michael Hector. We have 2 Charlton Athletic players in the squad. Big up to K-Rai Anderson, man. But Michael Hector, is the one that's, been frozen out of the squad for some long time now. Michael Hector haven't been, around the Reggae boy. But Michael Hector is a player that, he's always there. Whenever you call him, he's always there, It doesn't matter if you're playing Bahamas, the Cayman Island, or anything. He's always there, So you have to shout out to Michael Hector. Play like Michael Hector, Mariapa. These players always showed up. They always showed up whenever they get called. They don't shy away. Like some players that, they only want to come on these big World Cup qualified games, or they want to show up when it's big CONCACAF Gold Cup games, and things like that. But yeah, Michael Hector, he played 15 games for Charlton Athletic in League One, and he started 12. So, he had a 6.9. He could run it after to 7.0. You could run it after 7.0, but so Ishma King say we like talking about playing out from the back, but that what happened consistent until midfielders start demanding the ball from defense. Yeah. So Ishmael, I hope I'm pronouncing the name right, Ishmael King. When you have players like Lambert, when you have player like Latibodier, Joel Latibodier. Let me go back in that call. Remember. Yeah, so when you have player like Daniel Johnson, who is normally a 10, playing him in, when you have a number 10 playing him into a number 6, most of the time he's going to be nervous. It happened. I see it happen, to more high quality players, to be honest. Because even sometimes when you look at it, a player like McAllister for Liverpool, he's a 10. But sometimes when he drop in the hole and playing that in between the 8 and the 10 in that number 6 position, he makes sometimes the right decisions, but he just look kind of nervous because a number 10 don't usually collecting the ball that deep. You have to be like a gem, probably players really good at it is Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Odegaard, Madison. Players like this who are number 10, they tend to make rational decision whenever they get the ball in a number 6 position. So that's why sometimes when you see a number 10 can drop in the 6 and go and collect the ball and push up his team up front, he's a really good quality player. He's a gem. But we don't have that. Latibody is a player that is playing for Coventry. He's playing at right wing back or right inverted wing back. So every time when I watch him, I remember myself, when I just started to play as a 6, I'm always shying away from the ball because the confidence is not there. The confidence is not there. And, so yeah, he's talking about check Enzo, but yeah, but I wouldn't say, I don't know if he's saying that Enzo should be there, but my eyes, Enzo is not really a 10. Enzo is probably like a 8-6, but I could understand what you're trying to say, but yeah, that's why, we can't play out from the back because we don't have midfielders that can come and demonstrate. Like if you look at a Big Ange that's coaching Tottenham, a Big Ange, he always put Bissouma, and Madison, to come deep and collect the ball because they are so purify with their back to goal, and they make less rational decision. Because if your number 6 going to make decision when your center half want to give it the ball, it's just going to be adios, hasta la vista. You understand? So that's why we can't play it from the back. We might have, Pino, who is really good on the ball. Damian Lowe, sometimes when you give Damian Lowe more time on the ball, he make more mistake. That's the thing with him. When you give him less time, he make good decision. I don't know how his head work that way, but yeah, it worked that way. And then Kevin Lambert is that, I don't, Kevin Lambert is not in the squad, but Kevin Lambert is that player where, King, is that player that is not going to shy away from the ball 5 or 6 out of 10. When you look at Lambert, who remember when Lambert just came on the scene, when Tapa Whitmore was coach, when he was playing for Montego Bay United, that's when we first saw Lambert, and he was at 6, and everyone was like, yo, where's this youth coming from? This tall, strong, slender youth with his afro. Who remember that Kevin Lambert? That's how he got the contract, in USL, that 2019, I think, CONCACAF Gold Cup. Or if it's not 2019, it's 2017, but we just don't have the right personnel, King, to really play that pass, games. We just need probably that midfielder. And I think, Jonathan Russell is that kind of player, but I don't really see much of him as he played for Barnsley, I think, in League One, but yeah, so that's why we don't really play, that pass, game. So I was at Bernard. So yeah, Hector, I spoke about Hector, Tavon Gray, Tavon Gray, is a player that I've seen him grow. When I used to, live in the New York area and used to be, a season ticket holder for New York FC, Daniel Football Show, he can talk about it too. We watched this player coming into his own. I remember when he just came in, as a youngster, I think he's the first native, Tavon Green is the first native the first Bronx native to sign for the club, and he's a really strong player. But the thing though with Tavon Gray, he's not going to bump forward as old Javian go forward. He's more, Javian Brown can attack better than him, but he can defend more than Javian. Even though both of them, remember Javian Brown is to play for, I think, I don't know if it was Jamaica College. He was a center half for Aberfield. He was a center half. Tavon Gray at the 2000 and when was this World Cup? There was a World Cup, the under 20 World Cup that played. It was the under 20. I think it was the under 17 World Cup that played in Brazil. He played for America in that World Cup. I watched that World Cup and I remember him, and he was playing at center half. So New York at the time, as he said in his interview many times, when he signed for the club, we had no right back. I think at the time Ben Sweat was out. I think the Swedish right back, Tina Ohm, he was out. I think Cayens, the Peruvian at the time, he was out. So when they brought in Tavon Gray, we didn't have any right back for New York FC. So that's how they slot him in there. And, he played that position. Is it Casey? Yeah. He was playing for one of those colleges. Casey, you're right. But next one, Gregory. Gregory, I think, Gregory is our next player. I think he's playing really good. And he played for Oxford United. I think it's League. I think it's League One. Let's see if I get Gregory popped up. Gregory scored 5 goals. Gregory scored 5 goals for the season so far. Yeah, for Oxford, for Oxford United, he's playing in League One. Scored 5 goals for a wing back. Gregory is when I remember, I think Gregory played in that game last year when I first watched him live against Argentina, in Harrison, New Jersey. If you see Gregory his ties to compare to the other rest of players. It's like I'm putting up my thumb to a needle. That's how thick his tie is. This player is so fit. He can play the left back, he can play the right back, he can play in a back three. He can do a job in that back four as a center half. So, he's a good addition, and I've seen it over and over that, when Javian Brown is playing and Gregory is sitting on the bench, I said, not saying Javian Brown don't have certain qualities that, we would like to have sometime in the starting level for the Reggae boy, but I just feel like, Greg Lay is a player that he's so fit. He can use both feet. He can mark. He can tackle. He's a quality player in the air. So, and he's quick and he's fast. And this is why I don't know why Jamaicans sometimes we can't play fast, because we are some of the strongest athletes. We are some type of people that, we very strong. I don't know if it's the food, man. I don't know if it's the food, man, but Jamaican people are some of the most athletic people in the world. But yeah, Gregory is a good addition, and he's on farm right now, for Oxford United, in League One. I think he was playing in the championship, at one point, but I think his team got relegated. Yeah, he was playing for Ipswich, during that spell, and he was playing for Marcombe. Yeah, but big up to Gregory. I hope he can get a better contract and go inside of the English Championship, man. But going to move on, from Gregory. Amar Bell. I was saying Amar Bell. He's supposed to be injured. Yeah, Javian Brown get flustered easily, and time when we play the Mexicans, even when that game again back when we played in the Azteca, we played that semi-final. I think 2 of those goals or 3 of those goals in both games came from the right hand side, his side. Everyone whenever they play the Reggae boys, it's always a joint attack on our right side, and Leon Bale is the next one that. He's not going to really track back. So, and we don't have that prolific CDM that can cover, both sides. You're not going to see a Claude Makalele or Engel or Kante, every day. Those players can cover left back, right back. The number 8, even if the center forward get caught out, those players, really good in the CDM that can cover, but you don't really find those players make every day. You saw what happened to Claude Makalele when he left Chelsea. Go to Real Madrid, he only play a couple seasons and that's it. He burned out. Same thing for Kante at Leicester. Then Chelsea, burn out. Played every game, burn out. But I think Amar Bell picked up that injury. It said that his injury, he didn't. Let me double check because I knew I didn't see this player. Yeah, Amar Bell is injured. I don't know if you guys can see, but it says that Amar Bell, is injured. He said it's going to be about late November, so I don't know. I really don't know what's going on with him, at Luton Town. But he's playing really good, though. Amar Bell is playing really good. Luton Town play with a back three, and he's playing that left center half. So. And I think, he played a couple of games that he played excellent. He played some excellent games, especially in that game when they beat Everton at Goodison Park. He played really good. But next up on the list, we spoke about Javian Brown, but the midfield, I was saying earlier, about Demario Phillips. Demario Phillips is a player that I think he is that next player in the JPL should get out. He should get out. He's the one that I see, should get a contract. He's that player, can play that number 8. He can play that on both wings. He can play that number 10 as this player. I don't know if how many of you guys watch the JPL, but he's that player for Mount Pleasant. He just want to be everywhere on the pitch. He want to be the dominant one in the pitch. He want to get on the ball. And when you have a midfield general like that, your team going to be successful most of the times in the middle of the park. Remember watching I said, Jeremy and for Arborview, it's the same thing. Who else I can I'm trying to remember some. All right, so this player played for Mount for Dumble Olin last season, but he's not Waterhouse. Nikai Christian. I don't know what's his age if Nikai Christian is old, but he is one of that creating sparks, in the Jamaican Premier League, and he is that man that creating things right now, for Waterhouse. And Fabian McCarthy for Dumble Olin. He was that, pivotal one in the middle of the park when Dumble Olin went to the final, when Atafai Bygrave scored so many goals in the JPL. So when you have midfielders like that can dominate the game, it's easy for your wingers, it's easy for your forward. And that is why, Barcelona team is one of the best, we have ever seen. That's why Alex Ferguson create, such a dominant force over the years coming up. And that's what Jose Mourinho did when he just come to Chelsea, 04 them time, 05. Fit the set that midfielder in SCN with all these players. Yeah, so he's that next one that I see, should get out of the Premier League, but we should give him, more time to develop. Bobby Reid, Fulham is not playing excellent right now. Fulham is kind of struggling. Bobby Reid his game time kind of dip. The game time kind of dip, but Bobby Reid is one of that player. He is that player for the Reggae boy that we don't really give a lot of praise. I think he missed that goal. I don't remember. If anyone, in the chat can tell me about the goal that Bobby Reid missed in the national, I think it was a national stadium, kicking to we kicking, which side we were kicking? I think we were kicking uptown. We're not kicking down to Mountain View side, we're kicking on the other side. If someone in the chat can remember me, that game that Bobby Reid missed the penalty and they not the penalty, the clear shot. I think it was a record qualifying game. Was it the Costa Rica game? I'm not sure. Or America, I don't know if it was the American game, but yeah, Bobby Reid is the one that he works his socks off. He always give a good game for the Reggae boy. He always play probably a 7 out of 10 most of the times. He's the one that scored the goals for us in the Nation League. He's the one that's why we're here right now. Talking about we're going to play Canada. So we have to give, Bobby Reid some credit for how he's when he put on, the black, green, and gold. Daniel Johnson, Daniel Johnson is getting more and more game time since he moved from Preston North End to Stoke City right now. I think a couple games ago he assists, but he's getting more games under his belt. He's playing more and more of a number 10, in a Stoke City team. Type, you can get Daniel. So yeah, he played 68 minutes yesterday against Coventry. That's Joel Latibody team, and they drew 0-0. Last week he played 67 minutes against Cardiff. All his performance is average. All his performance is over 6.5. He played against Middlesbrough. That's Michael Carrick team. In the championship, he played on 90 minutes. He got a 7.7, rating. He got an assist in that game, and he played 90 minutes. So he's been playing excellent, and he's playing minutes after minutes, and he's playing in that number 10 position, So he has a good number 8 and a number 6 behind him who's really doing that dirty work. Daniel Johnson is a really good player because this player play a lot of games, for Preston North End. He played, tell you how many games, he played over 330 games for Preston North End, this is his club that, where he built his name, and scored 57 goals. He played there for 8 years. So yeah, good player. It's just that we are not, putting the players in the right position and playing that right system. As if we were putting players in that right position in that right system, there's no way Joel Latibody would have played CDM for the Reggae. But Joel Latibody at his time at Swansea before he went to Coventry, the past summer, he's playing at a right back. He's playing at a right back when Swansea had one of their best seasons, when they just got I think he went from City to Swansea on loan. I think when Swansea just got relegated, when Jamal Lowe was at the team. I think Andre Ayew was at the team when Swansea was trying to keep their best players. You know, yeah, Damar Phillips will get there. Just need more game time. Yeah, trust me. And if the coach have to just trust him. Yeah, the coach have to trust him. But yeah, Daniel Johnson is a good player. But the next player I'm going to move on, Kara Anderson, the young teenager from Charlton Athletic, he started the season well, for Wigan Athletic. He started the season really well. Not for Wigan, for Charlton Athletic. He started the season really well for them, but he's kind of peeled off a little bit. I don't know what's going on. He's been playing, reserve football for Charlton Athletic over the last, I would say probably the last 4 games. He's been playing. He played the weekend gone against a 7th division team, in the FA Cup. He played that game. That was his last game he played. He didn't play the weekend gone. So yeah, he played on November the 5th against Cray Valley, Pepper Mills. He played full 90 minutes, 7.8 match ratings. But the last time he played a league football game for Charlton Athletic, it was September the 23rd when he played Wickham, and he came on and played 28 minutes and got a match ratings of 68. He got an assist in that game. But he played all those games in August, in September for his club. But since then against Wickham, a couple of months ago, he haven't played in Charlton Athletic first team. He's been playing reserve football. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, with Kara Anderson and the Charlton Athletic, first team when he come on to League One. Him and Hector is in the same squad. But yeah, Jonathan Russell, Jonathan Russell is a player, he played for Barnsley. Jonathan Russell played for Barnsley. I think Barnsley in the League One. Yeah, Barnsley is in the League One. Yeah, in League One. That's where they played. But he is one of the players that, playing minutes by minutes, game after game for them. He played yesterday when they got 3-0, away to Derby County. He played his last game before yesterday. He was injured. He played October the 28th, 69 minutes. But he's a player. But I think Jonathan Russell, though, he kind of play a little bit slow. But he have some quality that we can use, so it can be useful in the CONCACAF region, But when you come up against teams like the best and the best in CONCACAF region, like Costa Rica, I'm not going to call, like, everyone know that America and Mexico is the elite, up there, right up there in the CONCACAF when you talk about big teams. But Costa Rica, Panama, in some sense, when Honduras is on their game, 80, you're not going to get, I'm telling you, you're not going to get many touches on the ball. You're not just going to get many touches on the ball. So, he's the one that, he's going to have to adjust, and how he played, because, down there in the lower pyramid, you get more time on the ball, especially if you're playing for that superb team in League One. You're going to get more time on the ball. So yeah, but he just need to improve, and how he played his pace, adjust his pace around the game. But his awareness, his ball touch, the way how he can collect the ball with his back to the opponent goal, collecting the ball from the center half, he can do a job. But running around, he's kind of a little bit slow right there. But yeah, good player, real good player. Admire him a lot. Romario Williams, Romario Williams scored tons of goals in the USL, for Colorado switchback. I think he scored over 16 goals. He's the one that pushed that team forward into the playoff, with Maggie, Beckford, Malik, Foster, Speedy Williams, all those players, play for that team. But Romario Williams was that player that, they looked to score the goals for them. He scored 15 goals, for them, 3 assists. He played 29 games and started 22 of those games. He played 1,800 minutes, in the USL. He scored a goal in every 2 hours score a goal, for Colorado Springs switchback, But who else, So I think he's one of the only players that played yesterday that's in the squad. Him, Amal Knight, Jamal Wade, Phillips, those players, yeah. And Leon Bailey, Leon Bailey's been a player that he's been a provider for the last. He's been a provider, for the last, probably say, a month ago. For Aston Villa, he's been that player that they always, look up to start the games in the Europa Conference, and he's the one that, Unai Emery look to change the game whenever they play in the Premier League, against the big boys. You saw, I think he grabbed an assist today. Oh yeah, of course. King. Cephas, watching Cephas since, the COVID, when Jamaica Premier League been playing up at the Horace Burrell, look up, AstroTurf, seeing Cephas a general, man. Cephas are really general, to be honest. Cephas is a general. I don't know. Trust me, bro. I really don't know, how he's not in this squad, to be honest. I don't know how Cephas to make this squad. But I think the game that they played that game on the weekend. He played. I think he played in that game, but before that, I think he picked up a knock. So I'm not sure if, because he was out, because look, for his team, Ankara Gucu, that's the team he played for in Turkey. He is their outlet. He is their man that they always look to whenever when they under pressure. So they protecting their assets. So I don't know if because he just came off injury and all of that, but I don't know what happened with him, what happened, the ticket issue and all of that. So I don't know if that's why Cephas is not in the squad. But yeah, Leon Bailey been a provider for Aston Villa for the last 2 months now. Mikel Antonio, he dropped off a farm for West Ham. He started the season really good. He played week in, week out in the Europa League. And hold on, let's get Mikel Antonio stats up right here. But I know Mikel Antonio started the season really well. But for who watch the Premier League day in and day out, see that he's not playing up to standard. And I think he's going to come under some competition for the Reggae boy. To be honest, especially when you have a player like Shaman Nichols, who is playing week and week out for Clermont. In the French Ligue. He played over the weekend. He's been playing 90 minutes. Shaman Nichols look more trimmer. He's look more sharper. Watch him against Leon when they beat Leon. Away to Leon. Everyone is beating Leon right now over there. In the French League. But yeah, Antonio scored 2 goals. But you don't judge Antonio by his goals, because remember this player was a right back. He was a right back, and he started to play right wing back. Right winger, and then they just decided to put him up front. But Mikel Antonio, what he does for his team, even when he was playing for, I think he was playing for this team in the championship. I don't remember. But yeah, he's the one that want to work hard up front. You know, he's the one that's going to be the outlet to hold up the ball. You know, Mikel Antonio, you know, his facets of the game, you know, it's not just all about scoring. You know, he's not just all about scoring goals. You know, he's a number 9, you know, he's supposed to be judged. But, you know, if you look at how his career is progressing over the years, you know, he's not that type of player that's going to give you 10, 15 Premier League goals. Yeah. He played the game on Friday, but I'm saying, you know, I think, you know, they played that game just before that, and he wasn't in the squad. You know, he was in the stadium. He went live that day, and I was watching that game, and he wasn't in the squad. You know, but I'm just saying maybe because he picked up a knock previously, why they protect him, because he is one of their main assets. Ronaldo Sifa, so I don't know, you know. So yeah, you can't really just judge Mikel Antonio, you know, and goals. You know, he give more than goals. If you watch him in the World Cup, you know, he's the one that makes a lot of those teams make mistakes. And Jamaican in that World Cup, you know, we scored most of our goals in terms of team turn over the ball to us, and we let them capitalize, you know, with our brilliance of finishing. And it was one of the reason, and it was Mikel Antonio, you know. He said, yeah. So I'm going to move on to Boza, Shamar Nicholson. Shamar Nicholson, he was woeful last year when he was at Spartak Moscow. He at this time when he left, I think he left in 2021 in Belgium and went to Spartak. He had a really good season. But after that, the team got a Spanish coach. He's really young. He was 32 years old. And he came in and he just decided, Boza is not in his plan, and he's been frozen out of the team. During that spell, the last 50 games that the team played, Boza only played, I think, 40% of those games. I think 20 games out of 50, he played during his last spell at Sparta before they loaned him to Claremont. But he look a better player now. Boza look a better player now, to be honest. He looked a really good player. As I said, he looked really fit. He trim. He looked really sharp. He's playing week in, week out, in the French league and playing up against big teams. If I could blame him for one thing he done wrong, in Claremont since he arrived in the French league, he was when he missed that goal and he supposed to sing Kylian Mbappe team, Paris Saint-Germain, in Paris that day. But he just didn't took his opportunity, and that's why Boza sometimes gets so much blame. He don't score. Boza is a goal scorer. When you talk about goal scorer, Mikel Antonio is not a goal scorer. Boza will give you 10, 15 league goals. Mikel Antonio not give you so much goals. Mikel Antonio give you, involvements of errors, lead to goal. That's Mikel Antonio thing right there. Amar Gray. I don't see much of his game, in the Saudi Pro League, as they really don't get that the televised game, to be honest, in the Saudi Pro League. But I think he scored a couple weeks ago. He got that winner when they won 3-2. But Demar Gray is, he is our poster boy. He is our gem. He came in and he just started to do what Leon Bailey is supposed to do when he just arrived on the scene. But I know Demar Gray is going to create some damage. I know he's going to create some damage, against Canada. I'm looking forward to that game. But Tavon Stewart, the next one, last one, because I have to run, really soon. Tavon Stewart is being that player, for Salernitana in the league, in the Serie A. He's coming off the bench a lot of times, and I think the first time when I saw him when he came off the bench, it was against Inter. When they lost 4-2 they lost 4-0, and both commentators were talking about, Trevante as their newest player. Ishma King said Nicolas should score. No, I don't think Nicolas should score today. I think it was a French. I don't think Nicolas should score today. I think it's Sarazovic, Yeah, the Austrian, the kid, scored. I don't. Yeah, he didn't score. Boza didn't score today. They played Lorient. They won today, but he didn't score. His striker partner scored. But yeah, Trivante Stewart, he's been kind of good. But that game when he came on for against Inter when they lost that game 4-0, they were in the game, but they just collapsed in the last 20 minutes of the game, and Inter just knocking three instantly. Laturo Martinez, but yeah, I'm glad to see Trevante Stewart is getting some game time. Yeah, Boza, has feel comfort, but that's the thing, when you feel comfort, that's why I like it. I said it on my Premier League podcast, last week about, players that just need to take a step back in their career to put their career back up here. If you up here and you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, it's nothing if you drop here, because I said it already on this show. When I was 15, playing, because I grew up supporting Arnett Garden, live close by. I was at Boyz for that when I was 13 and 14. But when Arnett Garden came calling, there's no way I would turn down Arnett Garden. And, I went there to play under 15. Who know Byron, he was a coach, big up Byron. That's my boyhood club, and that's my boyhood club. And I didn't get any game. I stayed there for like the first 6 games of the of that season after under 15, and my previous club, my co-host and my Prem podcast, Daniel, he was at Marvally. He went back and he said, "Hey, you're not getting any game." My confidence was shattered, man. When I go to training, I just want a 2-hour run off, 3-hour run off, and just go back home. That's all my Barnell broke my confidence by not giving me any game. And at the time, Arnett was playing Super 12, and Arnett was playing against Harborview, Tivoli, all these big teams, Waterhouse, Cavalier, and Marvally they were in, the bottom 12, were playing against Med Forest. At the time, Craig Butler was, he was controlling Med Forest at the time. We're playing against Olympic, Doane Park, Corville, team like that. So it was a step back in my career. So I leave Arnett from here to drop down here, to go to Marvally, where I started out as a kid playing, first competitive Cassava League. And I think I went like 3 days before the game. We played Olympic, down the Olympic at Kling Oval. And first game, the coach put me right into the starting level. As this coach is the one that created, the player who I was at that time. He helped, put a lot of things in my game. And he just tell me one word. He's like, "Hey, just be the Bugsy you used to be when you was at 9 and 10 years old." And that's all he said to me. And I played the game of my life. I played the game of my life against Olympic. So yeah, I was at Arnett, and then the same season, I went down to play under 15 for Marvally, and I played a tremendous season. That was my best under 15 season out of the 3 years I played. So yeah, that sometimes, Boyz that's playing for Spartak up here, Spartak is a better team than Claremont. Claremont just, trying to stay up in the league. Spartak is a team that playing, most of the time in the Champions League, in the Europa League. So yeah, I think, he's done a wonderful job. Just take a little step back in your career, just get some game time, go under one coach where have confidence in who are gonna play, who are gonna play week in, week out, and he's doing really good for us. But people, look, this come to an end. This match reaction. Reggae boy, I really have to run. But bless up everyone, that's passed through the building, Ishma King, nice to have a chat with you, with all your comment that you talking about. Boys, thanks for that correction about Javian Brown. I was saying, he was going to JC when it was KC. Thanks for that correction. But yeah, people really appreciate everyone's service over here. Remember, on your way out, just click the like button. If you haven't subscribed as yet, just click that subscription bell. But tomorrow, tomorrow will be, my Jamaican Premier League review show. I'm going to do that live, right after, I think Cavalier play tomorrow. Monday Night Football, I have a Jamaican Premier League show that I review, solely about the Jamaican Premier League. I review, the Champions League. I have my Premier League podcast, where I talk about the Premier League. I go live every Sunday around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, But let's see Monday Night Football before I go. Yeah, but Premier League, Jamaican Premier League is my bread and butter, people. I've been watching this league for over 20 plus years, So that's why sometimes you hear me call some name, some people, who probably younger than me or who are around my age don't really know or remember those players, But yeah, my bread and butter. One of my biggest experience, watching the Jamaican Premier League is when I was 5, 6 years old, when my people, if you don't know, Arnett and my aunt, you might see a United scarf here, but it's Arnett. I love Arnett Garden to I love Arnett Garden to bed. All you see me here right now, it'll kill me inside of Arnett get 2 love, from 3 love from Tivoli Garden. Make done score. Actually, it'll kill me inside of Jerome when come back over the complex and beat up my team. But one of my experience that, watching Arnett Garden winning, back-to-back double, in, I think it was the Craven League at that time, watching Arnett Garden winning that double, Harborview, them time I used to play a mid-season final and all of that, and one of my biggest memory that I will never forget is when me and my father ride from Kingston, just found you out tonight. Yeah, I saw it go, new people are come in, so yeah, big up yourself. One of my biggest memorable moment, watching Jamaican Premier League when I used to live in Jamaica. Me and my dad, we ride from Kingston 13, around the Whitfield area, who know down there close to Greenwich Farm, on Maxwell Avenue. We ride a bicycle from Kingston 13, go straight over Greater Portmore, Ferdinand Park, go watch Arnett and Portmore. And during those times, Arnett Garden Portmore used to have be a 7 or 8 o'clock match and tell you, say, yo, I bring him son on bicycling. Him have my local bicycle. No, me have my local bicycle, him have his bicycle, and we are ride. And we are ride. And you see, as soon as we come off the causeway, we go 3 miles, come off of the causeway, you have a local party at a Fort Clarence, right to start a back road as I come off a highway, but we don't take the highway, we come off, I think 2 miles before the highway or a mile and a half before the toll booth. Before the toll booth. And, we ride through Fishground. Mind you, who know Fishground, a Portmore, who, alligator and all them things around us. So, that's the passion, what, me and my father have, for Arnett Garden. And we ride, and we come off a Fishground and then we drop off on back road and we shoot, go down right in a Nago head, and then go shoot, go down by El Sharon Ronis and go to Greater Portmore and, so we pull up, man, in a Ferdinand apartment. People said, so I look around like, cause them people know it, cause people know we, in the complex, say, yo, that man and him son always come a match, and he was like, whoa, like, ride from Kingston, come a Ferdinand Park, a Greater Portmore, like, yeah, man. We love Arnett Garden, man. Yeah, man. Right from Maxine, Harborview Ministry. Right from one time my father pick up a bunch of it. We used to watch Manning Cup. First, Norman Manning used to play some Manning Cup match on a Tinsipen field. So Marcus Garvey Drive, right at the back of Greenwich Farm. Used to go them game there at 1 o'clock, pick up a bunch of youth, and we watch a Manning Cup match. I would left like 15 minutes before that done. I would have ride Galway next match up at Constant Spring. I would have go up a Campion, because my father has strictly Arnett Garden and Charlie Smith, supporter. The man they love Charlie Smith and Arnett Garden to bed, man. Yeah, man. But yeah, a big Arnett Garden supporter, man. But people, bless up on yourself, But look out for, when you can go over there and watch my vlog, the match day vlog, when I went to Harrison, New Jersey and watched that Guatemala game, I will be in Kingston. You know, I will fly down for that game, and from Montego Bay, the Monday night and fly go straight to Toronto. So yeah, I'm going to watch both leg of the Jamaica and Canada game. We love the football. You see me here just doing this because of the heart. The passion we have for the game. Didn't make it professionally. Highest level player, semi pro in New York. But injured. Got an injury. Playing Division 2 college football in New York. When I used to live in New York. So that's how my journey ends. So just doing this daily, this is like a therapy for me. This is like a therapy. Just doing things what I love. And I love this, and this is what I'm doing. When people look, man, I have to go. King, everybody in the chat, big up on yourself. Really appreciate all the love and support. Nicola Media House here. See you again tomorrow. After tomorrow, I think about 9:45, 9:30. I'll be live doing that Jamaican Premier League review show on my channel. But see you guys. Bless up. Take care of yourself.